Hi everyone, I'm Meg from Maison Jupiter and Beyond Mystic, and welcome to your weekly Beyond Astro forecast here for the week of starting on November 1st, 2023. We're here on the Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel, and thank you all very, very much for watching. Again, I'm going to say happy Halloween, happy Samhain, happy Dia los Muertos, all of our spooky season holidays. Even though yesterday was Halloween, we're still in the energy of Samhain, which is the traditional name for Halloween. Actually, the whole couple weeks before and after Samhain/Halloween. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But anyways, I hope you're all doing very well out there, and let us know in the comments how you're all doing with the current energies of Samhain and Halloween and coming off of the eclipses now. We're now out of the eclipse portal. We're still in an eclipse season because we just had an eclipse a few days ago, but we're no longer in between eclipses. So I know this has been a very intense time for a lot of us with the eclipses. So let me know how you're doing in the comments. Love to hear everyone's stories and synchronicities, and a lot of what some of us are going through are actually what a lot of us are going through. And that's what I love about sharing our experiences with each other in the comments with the like-minded community. We can see it's not just us going through certain things. So yeah, also want to say happy November and happy birthday to all the November Scorpios and November Sagittariuses out there. So, okay, before we get into any of the astrology, just want to remind everyone to please like, share this video if you really enjoy our content, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel. And we're also on Rumble. So if you're on Rumble, go to Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 3. And we've got lots of amazing content, so make sure that you're subscribed to us to get updated on everything we've got going on. And we appreciate all of your support very much from the Beyond Mystic family here. And also, if you'd like to have a more personal astrology consultation with me, those are available at maisonjupiter.com. And I'm currently offering birth chart astrology readings that are 1 hour, so going deep into your birth chart and sharing that with you. And also looking at your year ahead, the 1 year personal forecast using astrological transits. So that's a really good one to be doing this time of year, the year ahead reading, because we're coming to the end of a Gregorian calendar year, 2023, and soon we're going to be starting 2024. So if you'd like to look at your year ahead with me, I think my availability at the moment starts in December. So that's available over at maisonjupiter.com. And we've, as always, for all of the watchers of Beyond Astro, we've got discount code, all in one word, Beyond Mystic, that you can use to get 10% off your next reading with me, if you'd like one. So yeah, don't mind the background behind me. I'm currently on the road right now. So this is a makeshift background in the Airbnb that I'm staying in right now. I'm currently in Glastonbury, which is said to be the heart chakra of the world in terms of the different sacred sites in the world. So I'm in Glastonbury, and I'm with a friend here. And yesterday we did a traditional Samhain ceremony at the Chalice Well in Glastonbury. That was very magical. And today we're going to be walking up the Glastonbury tour, which is said to be the gateway to Avalon, the ancient Isle of Avalon, which I just got these Avalon cards. When we get to pulling some cards for the week, I'll pull some Avalon cards. So yeah, we're going to walk up the tour. We're going to go visit the Glastonbury Abbey, where it's said that Lady Guinevere and King Arthur are buried. And right through Glastonbury, right through this part of England that we're in, there's a St. Michael's ley line that runs directly through it. So it's a very powerful spot. And if you're ever in the south of England, definitely go check out Glastonbury. It's very, very magical. So I'm sending all the love from this sacred site out to you all through, through the screen, sending it all to you. and hoping you're having a very magical Samhain time. So I know I talked about it in the last Beyond Astro, but just to mention again, because we're still in the energy of it, Halloween, which is the modern name, but the traditional name is Samhain, which is Celtic for summer's end, is October 31st, the exact day. But actually, the week surrounding October 31st is when the veils between the spirit world and the physical world are at their thinnest. And so it's actually said to be the most powerful time to do any kind of magical practice and connecting to our ancestors, connecting to the other side, those that have crossed over. So doing any sort of ancestral healing work or connecting with our ancestors during this time, even for the next couple of weeks, is very, very powerful. I think doing any divination, any magical practices of any sort, it's, I think, the best time of year to do it for sure. So the veils are very thin, and maybe some of us are having powerful meditations at this time, vivid dreams at this time, strong intuitive insights at this time. So if you're having any of that, I know I'm having like increased synchronicities, especially yesterday. I'll see what today's like, but yesterday I had some pretty freaky synchronicities. So synchronicities as well, and signs. It's a very, very magical time. And it is not an evil holiday. It's a traditional holiday that actually all over the world, they have different names for it. In Mexico, it's Dia los Muertos, the celebration of the dead. So it's important to honor our ancestors because we wouldn't be here without them. And we're literally made of their blood and their DNAs. And I believe they still live through us. And by us enjoying our life to the fullest and being in alignment with our missions, we're honoring not just ourselves, but also our whole ancestral line. So we're still in that Samhain energy right now. And we're also now coming off of the eclipses that we just had. So I don't know about you guys, but particularly that October 28th eclipse that we just had was very, very intense. I've been hearing from a lot of you, particularly for anyone that's a Taurus or one of the earth signs, fellow earth signs like Taurus or fixed signs. A lot of you guys, sun, moon, and rising, were really feeling it very intensely. So I hope everybody's feeling well out there. And I'm just getting an intuitive message that it's really important for us to be drinking a lot of water as we're still processing the eclipses, and to be spending time outside in nature. You know, Taurus, which is the sign the October 28th eclipse was in, is not just money, abundance, finances, our values, which we're seeing huge changes happening with that for us personally and in the collective. But Taurus is also nature and the enjoyments of life. So it's a really good time for us to be connecting to Mother Earth. Taurus is the only sign in astrology that really rules Mother Earth. Getting outside, getting barefoot, connecting to nature, we can move through this energy a lot effortlessly by doing that. And from now, from having this eclipse just a few days ago, for the whole next 6 months, our values and our finances, personally and collectively, are really, really highlighted. And we're probably going to see some big changes in the financial systems for sure. I just saw, I think it was yesterday, an article that Canada, as an example, is officially in a recession now. So we're going to be seeing more big financial news happening all over the world. I was saying, I think in the last Beyond Astro, that Europe is going to be extremely highlighted because of all the different transits happening to the European Union transit chart, solar return chart. So Europe, there's going to be big changes happening with the economics over the next 6 months, a push for central bank digital currencies, and what's going to be going on with that. So yeah, we're coming off of the eclipses. And I think the biggest thing that we've really got going on this week in particular is coming off of the eclipse, coming out of Samhain, but Saturn stations direct in Pisces 0 degrees in Pisces on November 4th. So let me bring up the chart for that. So here we've got the chart for November 4th, 2023. Yay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very happy that Saturn is going to start moving direct. So Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th, 2023. And we've been having a lot of planets retrograde recently. We just had Pluto go direct a few weeks ago. We're now having Saturn go direct. So the only planets that after November 4th are going to be retrograde until really the end of the year, the outer planets are Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter. So we're starting to have more planets move direct, which is really good. It's going to be, when we have planets retrograde is, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, when a planet looks like, from our Earth's perspective, that it's moving backwards, but it's not actually going backwards. The planet is actually closer to the Earth and moving in a circle where it's at. So it looks like it's actually going backwards, but it's moving in a circle where it's at. And retrogrades are about review and reflection. And so with Saturn being retrograde, it's been about reviewing and reflecting on the things that Saturn rules in life. And Saturn is the planet of responsibility and achievement and success and the structures of our life, limits and boundaries. So Saturn direct is really good for any of us when it comes to our professional career goals, ambitions, any delays that we've maybe been having work-wise or career-wise. It's going to be a lot easier to move forward. So there's not as an intense influence of delay that can happen with Saturn retrograde. So we can move forward with things work-wise. And in particular, if you're somebody that works in the spiritual, any kind of spiritual field or any kind of healing field for that matter, or artistic kind of career, those are all ruled by Pisces, which Saturn is in the sign of Pisces right now. So I feel like with Saturn going direct at this time, this isn't just any Saturn direct. This is actually very powerful Saturn going direct because it's at 0 degrees, which is a critical degree, 0 degrees. So 0 degrees, according to Nicholas Stojanovic's degree theory, as I know a lot of you guys know, is one of Julie and I's favorite astrologers. 0 degrees is the strongest basic expression of whatever the sign placement, whatever planetary placement of the sign that it's in, if that makes sense. So it's very, very strong for, what does Pisces rule? Spiritual careers, healing careers, that can be physical health, mental health, any kind of physical healing art or healing art, any kind of energetic healing art, spirituality, healing, as well as artistic kind of careers, musicians, actors, artists. But Pisces is also behind the scenes work that has to do behind the scenes. So if you are in any kind of career like that, or you're wanting to start any kind of career like that, this is actually, I think, a very powerful time. Now, that is a little bit general for me to say because we'd have to look at your individual transits, but this is more for the collective. A lot more people, I think, at this time feeling to step into maybe a more Piscean kind of career, because Saturn can rule our career, achievement, work, public recognition, and how we're seen. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm noticing that with a lot of people I know, and I am doing astrology readings all the time. There's a lot of us that are like-minded and aware of what's going on with the shifts on the planet, that we have creative gifts or healing gifts or spiritual gifts, but some of us are scared to step into that. Sometimes it's from past life wounds. Sometimes it's from, limiting beliefs from this lifetime. So this is powerful to, if you want to step into a career like that, let that go, because those things are needed at this time. We're at literally a shifting of astrological ages, coming out of an age of Pisces into an age of Aquarius, where it's going to become totally normal to be a spiritual healer or teacher or full-time artist or, alternative healing person, which I know there's a lot of people like that, but there's going to be even more people like that. And if you don't have a job like that and you're listening to this Beyond Astro and you're like, yeah, Meg, but I want to be, an architect, for example, Pisces rules our dreams. So whatever your dream is career-wise, we can be feeling more inspired, more easier for us to move ahead with that at this time with Saturn going direct. So I'm really excited with this Saturn going direct. The main theme with it is we're going to feel it to be more easier to move forward with our goals and our work. It's interesting because Saturn doesn't really like to be in Pisces. I'll be honest with you guys, because Saturn is structure and stability and boundaries, and Pisces rules the spiritual world and boundlessness and dreams and fantasy. So Saturn doesn't really like to be in Pisces, and it can be a little bit, not a little bit, it is unstable for the collective. So if we see what's going on the collective, and Saturn's at Pisces, 0 degrees, a critical degree, it feels pretty unstable right now, right? There's a lot of crisis. There's a lot of Pisces paranoia, disillusionment, sensitivity, depression. Pisces can be mental health and feeling really disillusioned and sensitive and like you're in a fantasy world even. So with Saturn now going direct, important for us to pay attention to our mental health from now all the way until February 2026. That's how long Saturn is going to be in Pisces. So we are dealing with challenge, because Saturn rules challenge with people's mental health, disillusionment, depression, anxiety with the whole collective, as well as challenges with spirituality, which we're definitely seeing that in the Middle East, people's different spirituality and how to coexist together. So we're going through the challenge of that for sure. I do think it's really interesting, again, that we're leaving the age of Pisces and we have Saturn in Pisces till 2026, as well as Neptune, the ruler in Pisces. So we're really dealing with the Piscean archetype very strongly before we enter the age of Aquarius, which there's no exact time frame of when that is going to be. I want to be clear with this right now. So how we know technically when we're exactly going to be in the age of Aquarius is when on the spring equinox, when we look due east on the horizon, the sun is going to rise over the constellation of Aquarius. So right now, every spring equinox, if you were to look due east and see where the constellations are, whether through a telescope or on one of those, constellation apps, you would see that on the spring equinox, the sun rises over Pisces still. So we had that on the last spring equinox. Any year now on the spring equinox, sorry for the noise outside of the hallway where I'm at, you guys, if you guys can hear a noise. Literally any year now, the sun is going to start rising on the horizon at spring equinox over Aquarius. And that is how we will technically know that we are now in the age of Aquarius. So it's literally going to be any year now. And I just think it's interesting that we're dealing with Pisces so strongly with Saturn in that sign, Neptune in that sign, before we can enter Aquarius. So as I said, Saturn has been retrograde in Pisces since June 17th. So it's good for us to reflect now that it's going direct. Have you noticed a shift since June 17th in the structures of your life, your work and career, your boundaries and limits, your mental health, creativity, or spiritual connection? And it's important also for us to be aware, because Pisces rules fantasy land, being in a fantasy land and a la-la land, and sometimes not seeing things clearly. Are we being in a fantasy land about something? Are we being ungrounded about something? Are we feeding an illusion in a certain area of life? So it's important to be aware of that with Saturn in Pisces, and discernment is very, very important. And see where you have Pisces in your chart to see where Saturn is now moving direct over and is teaching us some valuable lessons at this time. Wherever we've got Saturn transiting, Saturn is a malefic, so it can bring challenge. And through those challenges, we learn important life lessons, but it can also bring success and rewards if we are doing a good job, if we are going through the challenges and the learning that Saturn wants to teach us. So, okay, I also want to mention here, you guys, that we have this very powerful Taurus full moon eclipse meditation with Elena, Janine, and Julie on the Beyond Mystic Academy that's now available for replay. So that's over at beyondmystic.academy. And it's on a sliding donation scale. These meditations are so powerful that they do. And this one is about manifesting the most positive outcomes with the lunar eclipse together. So that was filmed on October 25th, but you can go check the replay for that on beyondmystic.academy. So, okay, before we finish up, I'm going to pull some cards for us for this week from my new deck, The Wisdom of Avalon, because I'm currently in Avalon. So I'm going to ask the spirits of Glastonbury, where I am, the spirits of Avalon, what guidance they have for us this week for all of our highest good. Let's see. So I'm pulling 3 cards. Cool. Okay, very cool. So first we've got movement, the card movement, and it's a beautiful nature setting. So right away I'm feeling like that. It's important for us to be moving our bodies. That's funny because I was feeling very strongly at the beginning of the video, like drink more water, drink really good water, you guys, that's important. Drinking good water, but also moving out in nature, moving our bodies, being in our bodies with all of this very strong Pisces influence. Pisces is not the physical body. It rules the spirit world and our spirit and our intuition. So we have to pay more attention to taking care of our sacred vessels that are our bodies at this time, moving it, doing dancing, doing stretching, going out into nature barefoot, drinking really good water, noticing how the water feels when we drink it. So we're getting a reminder about that. We're also getting the hawk, omens and messages. So paying attention because there are omens and messages that we're receiving. Any synchronicities you're getting, even if they don't necessarily make sense in this moment, you should journal about it maybe, because I feel like they will make sense at some point. So we're getting very important messages with it also being Samhain in a very magical time of year. We've got the hawk with us. And the Lady of the Lake. This is a very special lady from Avalon here, and she's very magical. She was the gatekeeper of entering Avalon. And it says absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So I'm feeling like with this, I'm feeling like with the Lady of the Lake, there's kind of what I was talking about with Saturn and Pisces, being aware of our boundaries, what we're feeding energetically, and how we're taking care of our energy. How are we respecting ourselves? Just take a look at this picture and maybe connect with her for a moment, you guys. I'm just going to put her right here. The Lady of the Lake, and just notice what you feel when you see her. Notice if there's anything you feel like she's sharing with you or that comes up when you see her. Self-respect. Where do we need to create a better boundary in life? That's what I'm feeling for her. So that's a really powerful one for us to get. And it's protection. We're protected and we're being guided to be more in our self-respect and self-responsibility. Very cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Beyond Astro. Let me know in the comments below and in the live chat what you think. And again, if you'd like to have a more personal consultation with me, that's available over at maisonjupiter.com. And also, we've got a live class happening for Julie and I's Astrology Foundations course. I think this is going to be our 4th live class, and we're going to be talking about Gemini, the sign of Gemini, and all of the planetary placements in Gemini. So we're going to be doing it live, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern this Friday. But also, if you sign up for the course and you're not able to attend the live classes on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's all replays. So you can watch the replay anytime until the end of time. So that's over at beyondmystic.academy. And we're having so much fun doing that astrology foundations course with all of you. So yeah, I'm wishing you all an extremely magical week, the most magical week ever. Sending lots of cosmic love your way from myself and from Glastonbury here. And we'll see you next week. Bye.